Welcome to another edition of Tuscaloosa Talks. Obviously, we're here at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. It's something that we're all really proud of at the city of Tuscaloosa. It's hard to believe that this facility now, we're in 2023, opened up 12 years ago. It continues to be one of the most popular places in our city. And I'm here with the amphitheater director, Matt Jones. Matt, good to see you.
Good to see you, sir. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, man, we're glad to have you. You rock it out anyway. We could fill up this place with just you playing guitar back here.
I wish.
But we're so excited that you're leading our amphitheater operations right now. You're a natural fit for this venue that means so much to our community. And so we're here today to talk on Tuscaloosa Talks to talk about the upcoming amphitheater season. It's hard to believe it's here.
I know.
And so let's go ahead and just kick it off. Who's going to be first on stage in this season?
Lauren Diego, April 13th, will be the first act, and then followed by Hank Williams Jr. And obviously Hank, with that show, it's almost sold out. I think there's 200 tickets left, maybe.
Yeah, get them while you can.
Yeah, and it kind of rolls down from there. After that, Flashback Funk Fest, May 28th. Bare Naked Ladies, June 28th. Three Doors Down, August 5th. Jason Aldean, August 6th. Parker McCullum, September 8th. And there'll be about another 8 to 10 shows that'll be announced eventually when they finalize everything.
One of the cool parts about my job is, once a week I'm always getting an offer contract and looking it over and knowing we're out there trying to get the best talent we can into this venue, which, by the way, just it's held up so great over the years.
And one of the other aspects about it, which is always interesting, when they do book an act, if it's someone that some of my friends want to give me a hard time about, I'll just say, look, if there's an act that's out there, it may not be your style of music, it may not be your era of music, but if there's an act that's touring and they have that support and the buses and everything else, they're going to put on a show, because otherwise they'd be playing somewhere else, much smaller. But for these acts that are out touring consistently and able to pull a crowd and employ the number of people that they employ, they do something right.
Yeah, for sure. So what would surprise people most about what goes on, what I call game day here at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater? Give the public kind of some inside baseball of what it's like.
As far as the amount of work that goes on with the tour that comes in, with the amount of work that they've already put into place beforehand, with kind of city assets and stuff as well, everything. We've got, ground crew is out today kind of getting everything ready. But the amount of people that are behind the scenes doing things that no one will ever see is the part that's amazing to me. And the fact that tour, the next day, will be in a whole nother venue with a whole nother same setup going on.
Wash, rinse, repeat. I mean, it's
right.
So what time do they usually get here? What time do those buses start loading into the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater?
We've got a show. I did an advance call yesterday. They're arriving at 3 a.m. and we will bring them in around 5:30 a.m. And from there, they will probably leave the next day at 3 a.m. as well. And it's all night nonstop. But those, the show days, it'll be, I'm coming in a little later and leaving a little bit after midnight, but it used to be, I'd come in at 10 a.m. and you'd leave the next day at 3:30, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. In a hurry up, take a shower, get to church.
Yeah. One of the things I always look forward to is the night after the show, or the morning after the show, is looking at the reconciliation report to see how we did the night before. And I'll see the email timestamped like 12:30 a.m. And so it just reminds me that our people out here working late, making certain everybody got in, had a great time, got out safely, and we took care of all the logistics. Best story in your time at the amphitheater? What's one of the best stories that you got? Put you on the spot.
That's family friendly.
It doesn't have to be family friendly.
It does need to be family friendly.
We can edit and we can give a.
Can we edit? No, I'm not going to go there.
Sure.
One of the ones we are going to edit this. I'll just go ahead and say it. It was an artist. I won't say the artist's name, but it was just back before I was here, because I started with the city in, I think 2011, 2012 as an intern at the River Market, because I was going to weasel my way in over here. That was the grand plan.
Well, it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
And so I was working as a runner for one of these shows, and The artist came off the stage, got in the back of the car with his head of security and his tour manager and one other guy who was a DEA agent from Detroit who was kind of working security for him as well. So we got in the car and we go to pull out, and I said, he asked a question. I said, well, first off, thank you so much for coming to Tuscaloosa. It was a beautiful crowd, and they were just a wonderful, incredible experience. And he said, driver, what is your name? I said, well, my name's Matt. He goes, Matthew, I would like a hooker. You're like,
and then I hope at that point you say, well, that's illegal here in the state of Alabama and the city of Tuscaloosa.
So that's where we can begin the end of edit, I think, right there.
Well, I tell you what, I think I'm going to go under the rule of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. So I'm not going to dig in any more to that. But it does show you we have a lot of unique characters that roll in and out.
Yes, and that was by far one of the weirder ones. But for the most part, it's they're coming in and they're just. This is their home, and they need items like we need items at home, but they can't leave and run to Target and get it themselves unless you're Miranda Lambert. She would do that. When we were running her one time, I said, "Do you want to stay in the car? I can go in." And she's like, "Nobody's going to mess with me." I think she was right. Nobody.
I wouldn't mess with Miranda Lambert. Probably a couple of times I've met her, I think I would have.
She can handle her own.
There ain't no doubt about that.
One of the other,
go ahead.
No, one of the other amazing things was the last time Miranda Lambert was here, she had a rehearsal, because a lot of the tours will come in and they'll set everything up and they'll do a rehearsal the day before. And it's not just a sound rehearsal, it's stage performance, it's the whole lights, smoke, everything. And so the night before Miranda Lambert's concert, they put on a full rehearsal. And so there were 6 of us out here, and we're kind of walking around. We've got the gates secure, but she's doing the entire concert for like 6 of us, and she had a couple of her crew members that were out in the crowd who would normally not get to see the show because they would be backstage doing other things. And so it was an amazing experience just to be right there in the middle of it with 6 people, just having that whole experience.
Oh, I can only imagine. It's been so, in my career, it's been so cool to meet some of these artists and, welcome them to Tuscaloosa. And then you realize how human they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a tough life on the road out here. And to hear what they talk about Tuscaloosa, we've had them go out and canoe in the river, go fish. That was
Luke Bryant, I think.
We
were talking about Jessie Mazzell, who used to be here. We love Jessie, but she would,
she was a rock star in her own right.
She was. She could get away with it. She was awesome. But she had a kayak, and it was Luke Bryant wanted to get out on the water, so she went home and grabbed her kayak and brought it back, and he ended up paddling around on the river all day. It was before, I think it was the first season, maybe second season that it was open here. But I do have something to show you, and we'll do a close-up on it, and y'all can edit it in maybe. That was incredible. I've been going through the house cleaning out
what you got?
Different rooms and stuff. But this... from back when, this was my son, who's 25 now. He was probably 5 there. And this was when the amp was, before this was built, when it was the ball field.
Yeah.
And I remember, you see that shot looking straight down Nick's Kids Avenue.
Wow.
But it was funny because you'd have these kids that would be out in the outfield, which the outfield was where the Mercedes-Benz lot is now.
Yeah.
You'd have the kids out there, and the train would be going by, and the coach would be yelling, "Quit looking at the train." How are they going to not look at the train?
I don't know if you remember, but when we were proposing the amphitheater, there was an organization that sprung up that said, "Stop the Amp." Stoptheamp.org. And one of the arguments was, well, you won't be able to hear a concert because of the train and the bridge. And of course, the acoustical engineers, said that's not true. And and I remember when I was in 2009, when I was running for re-election, we polled the amphitheater. Should the city be building an amphitheater? 2008, I think, is when we polled it. And the majority of residents said no, we shouldn't do it. Then in 2013, when running for re-election, we polled it, and it was 80+% that they love the amphitheater. Mm-hmm. And what that reminded me of was that we had to go out there on an article of faith, because if I were the public sitting in their shoes and not having the full depth of information, I would wonder about its success. Mm-hmm. And today, we can't imagine Tuscaloosa not having this venue. And I'm very proud of it, and that success is because of people like you. And just know how much the city appreciates what you do every single day. Wendy Riggs, our first director, got this thing off the ground and made it happen. And everyone since then has contributed. And you're part of that long legacy of people that are steering this amphitheater. And I'm very, very proud of you, excited about what it's going to mean. I hope you have no more conversations when you have to drive someone to the airport. We'll just deal. That sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right. This has been another edition of Tuscaloosa Talks.